Hi VC. Hope everyone's doing well. I know it's been a while since I made a video. My apologies. I was out and about last weekend, this week, and I picked up some vinyl, picked up some cassettes, and I also picked up some CDs, and I even have one box set. But in this video, I'm going to share with you my vinyl pickups that I got. So let's get into it. So the first one we're going to start off with is Krokus, the Blitz. This will make my second Krokus album for my collection. So I've started officially the Krokus collection. They had, I think, 2 other Krokus albums, but I was more interested in getting that one because I was playing the cassette of it a couple of months back, and the cassette died on me. It was unplayable. It was warbling, it was dragging, and it happened right when I was really getting into the tapes. So impressed I wasn't, disappointed I was. So I thought, well, I'm going to have to rush out and get another copy. But I didn't rush out. I waited. And lo and behold, I went to, of course, my favorite record shop, and there it was. They actually had 2 copies, so I grabbed them both. So I haven't played those ones yet, but then when I saw this album today, I grabbed it. And as soon as I got it home, I put it on the turntable, and I was thrilled. The album sounded great, and it was just as good as I had suspected it was going to be. So now we move into the 60s with the Hollies' greatest. Now this one has songs like Bus Stop, 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 Just One Look, Look Through Any Window, I Can't Let Go. The standards. This one has 9 tracks on it, 10 tracks on it. So there's the band there. Good album. And then we move into another 60s band. Anybody remember the original cast? This is One Tin Soldier. And this also has the song Mr. Monday on it. So that's the band. I'm only familiar with those 2 tracks. I'm actually looking forward to listening to this. I have a feeling it's going to be a really good album. I didn't even know who actually did One Tin Soldier or Mr. Monday. But those 2 tracks I heard on the weather station, and every time I hear it, it's always like, who does it? Who does it? So I thought, okay, you know what? I looked it up on the internet, and that's how I found out who did the songs. So I rushed out and I grabbed the album. When I went there last week, they had 2 copies of this album. When I went back today, they only had 1. So I thought, well, if I don't grab it now, someone else will, and I'll be out of luck. So I grabbed it. Now, one of my favorite bands, Kiss Alive. Now this one I bought brand new. I didn't break this part of the seal, but I did open it right here. And it does come with the booklet. And it is on 180 gram vinyl. And this, on the bottom it says, first US vinyl pressing since 1980. Since 1980 editions, so. I remember the original, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it said Alive up here, 2 LP set, I think, or double LP. So I mean that's one of the differences I saw with this album, and that's about it. You know what? These 2 guys here, apparently there was on the internet something about these 2 guys, where they are today and what they're doing. I tried to look it up, and I couldn't get in anywhere with it. No pictures, no nothing. But yeah, Just looking at this scene, it just blows me away. I was only 11 when this album came out, so that's pretty cool. I look at this and I wonder what these guys are doing now, you know, where they are, and yeah, history. Now we move on to The Who, a quick one. So this is a mono press. It's on what is it? Reaction Records. Reaction. When I first bought this album a long time ago, it was, I think it was on MCA. And there's also The Who Sellout. Now, when this album was released, it was actually like this. This was the cover. That was the back cover. With the other two pictures, of course, there was four. Pete, Roger, John, and Keith. It was 4 pictures on the other side. And it was a double album. But, I don't know, with vinyl getting back into, with everyone wanting vinyl, I guess the record companies decided, why don't we screw the little people? We'll release the double album on 2 separate albums and charge $28 for them, which is what they did. However, with the double album, it didn't come with a cool poster like this one did. This one has a poster, and I believe Brandon, Mr. Hall of Fame, he showed his box set, and this was also in it, so maybe you saw this poster, but I'll show it to you again. So, that's the poster, which is pretty cool. It's just on a matte background, matte finish. It's not glossy or anything like that. So there you go. And since I'm too old to be putting posters up on my bedroom wall, this will just stay nicely inside the album cover. Now we move on to Alice Cooper, Welcome to My Nightmare. One of my 2 favorite Alice Cooper albums. The song Stephen, every time I listen to it, sends chills up my spine. It just has a haunting effect to it that just, I don't know, like I said, it gets the hair on the back of my neck standing up. But yeah, this is one of my favorite albums. Now we move on to John Lennon and Yoko Ono, Double Fantasy. Too bad he's not with us anymore. It would have been interesting to see what else he would have released. I often wonder if he'd be still recording the way Paul McCartney is. Speaking of which, Wings, London Town, and mine does not have the poster. And no, I haven't listened to this one yet. I am familiar with, oh, what's the song? With a Little Luck. Yeah, it's about the only song I'm familiar with on this album. Now we move on to Canadian artists. One of my favorite Canadian bands is Streetheart. I believe this is Dancing with Danger. And I believe Dancing with Danger is the popular track, the hit track on this album. I'm not familiar with the rest of them. And then we move on to Under Heaven, Over Hell, Streetheart. And this one, I believe, has the song Hollywood and Main Street on it, and Here Comes the Night. Oh wow. This actually has Matt Frenette in it, right there. I didn't know that. I thought he had left the same time Paul Dean did, but he didn't. That's interesting. Now we move on to Streetheart's self-titled album. And this one has at least 8 out of 9 tracks on here that are really good. Without Your Love, Mad as Hell, Miss Plaza Suite, Wired, What Kind of Love Is This, Snow White, Look in Your Eyes, Ain't in No Hurry, and One More Time. And One More Time is one of my favorite tracks on this album. So, then we have Quicksand Shoes by Streetheart as well. So if you haven't guessed it already, yes, Streetheart is one of my favorite Canadian bands. I don't have their entire discography. And what's neat about this is you have to flip it over to read the title track, or the tracks on it. So this one was released in 1980. Wow. And it's got tracks like Joke's on You on there, and that's about it. That's the only track on this album I'm familiar with. Then we move on to Paul Dean, Hardcore. I'm not familiar with any tracks on here except for maybe the Action. There's a track listing there. I don't know if he released anything other than this album, but I have this on vinyl and on cassette. Now we move on to another Canadian band, Chilliwack, Segue. I think that's Segue or Segway. This is just a greatest hits album. This one was released in, I think, 81. Let's see. Yep, 1981. No, actually it wasn't. You know what? I don't know when this was released. And the reason I know it wasn't released in 81 is because there's tracks on here from 1983. So it had been released after 83. But anyways, yeah, there's tracks on here like Don't Stop, Getting Better, What You Gonna Do, My Girl, I Believe, Communication Breakdown, Arms of Mary. See, I don't know if you could see that. Let me just move those over. So those are the tracks there. Try to get that in there more. So you got those. So I don't have this on CD, but I'm happy to have it on vinyl. And sticking with Chilliwack, we move on to Opus X. This is a good album. I do have this one on cassette, so I know it's a good album because I played it. I didn't realize how good it was until I played the cassette, so of course when I saw this album I had to grab it. I don't know, did I show you the back? So those are the tracks there. And last but not least, for the Canadian artist section, Queen City Kids. This is their debut album, I believe. It's got tracks like Follow You There, Kids World, Secret Smoke, Carrying the Stick, and Down Again. There are, I believe, 10 tracks on here, and those were, I believe, 5 of them that I just shared with you. That were the more popular ones. I haven't played this entire album yet, but those are the 5 tracks I'm familiar with, only because I have Queen City Kids' greatest hits on CD and on cassette. So, so there's a picture of the band. And I believe this album was released in 1982. No, pardon me, 81. It was released in 81. And yeah, when this album was first released, there was a contest between the schools in the city to try and get trying to get this band to play at their school. And of course, my high school won. But the band was also at a local Kelly's record store downtown. Kelly's doesn't exist anymore. But anyways, back then it was, they were at Kelly's signing autographs. So me and my friends and some other kids from different schools, they were also there. And I don't know what happened. Some kind of a fight broke out or something. And next thing I know, there's police coming and everyone's getting hauled off in paddy wagons. And it was just nuts. And my friends and I, we just got our butts out of there and went back to school and heard that I think there's a few of them that ended up going to jail. I don't know if they were, I don't think they were sentenced. They were probably just remanded until their parents came to get them. I don't know. But anyways, that's what happened with that. The band isn't together anymore. They released, you know what, I don't even know how many albums they released. I know they released 3 that I know of. They released this one, Black Box, and a Greatest Hits. If they released any more, I don't know about it. But anyways, that is 17 albums that I had picked up from last week, and a couple more I picked up today that I just threw in there. So I hope you enjoyed it. I know I enjoy sharing it with you. And you know what? I have another video coming, so I'm going to make this one short and sweet and just say goodnight, and I hope everyone's doing well. Take care. Bye.